phenomenal regional here. What was the key to that? What was your approach, and how can you carry that over to this coming weekend?
My approach going into this regional was just give everything I had to my team and help do anything I can to help my team win. And I think that was the approach for a lot of guys, and it really showed on the field and in the locker room, and it showed in the celebration just how excited we were for each other, how excited we were for the coaching staff, all the people involved in our program. And I think if we do that again this weekend, we're going to have a really good weekend.
Ask Connor about the familiarity between both teams, and if there's kind of a comfort level for both, maybe because you know each other so well, instead of going some, California or Oregon State or someplace you've never been.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, we played each other twice during the regular season. We know what both programs are all about. And, it's one of the biggest rivalries in all college sports. So it's going to be a really fun weekend. And, I can tell you one thing, our team's really looking forward to getting down there and getting to work.
Riley, Coach stresses defense so much. You take a lot of pride in your defense. It's come along. You've made a couple of spectacular plays. Can you just talk about how that part of your game has developed, especially the chemistry between you and Connor?
Yeah, I could not have made these strides defensively without this new coaching staff. After the struggles and everything last year, coming back here, they easily could have said that, I didn't have a chance to play anywhere in the infield. They're going to try me somewhere else. But from day one, they were very open, and they wanted to help me. They wanted to have me get better playing infield. And, I couldn't have done it without them. And then with Connor up the middle, he's a defensive wizard. He's a highlight reel, He makes it a lot of fun, and we learn from each other every day. And, during our time here, we've competed with each other, so that's really helped us. And then, now that we're playing together, the chemistry is off the charts. It's been a lot of fun.
So what would you prefer this weekend? Walk-off home run or game-ending double play?
Either one. I mean, we win the game either way, so that'll work.
Connor was saying that when you guys went to Florida and in the SEC tournament, you maybe put a little too much pressure on yourselves because you wanted to win so bad, but you were looser last weekend. And how do you keep yourself loose going into a super regional with the College World Series on the line?
I think it all just comes back to you got to remember why you play this game, and you play this game to have fun. You play it because it's something you love to do, and that's what your heart wants to do. And when you're not getting stuff done and you're not driving in runs and we're not winning games, it can be really stressful. But like I said, to pour into your whole team, and if you have a bad at bat and you make an error or whatever, you come back in and you pour into your team, and that helps the team win the game. And that's the biggest thing for us going into this weekend.
Connor talked about they haven't seen your rotation staff for the most part. They didn't see Zach, obviously, and you haven't seen theirs. How quickly during the in-game adjustments you have to make against the pitchers you've never faced before?
Yeah, you got to make it quick. Coach Williams and all the coaches do a really good job with our scouting report, so we're going to have a pretty good idea of what we're up against going into the game. But it's just like any opponent we faced all year. I mean, you can have your scouting report and you can think you have everything figured out, but then something doesn't go right in the game. You got to make quick adjustments, and I think we've done a really good job of that as a team, and as the coaching staff has done a phenomenal job as well. So I think as soon as we get there from inning one, we got to know umpire zone, and we got to know what we're up against besides the scouting report.
One guy you guys did see was Hensman. I think he pitched in one of the games. What do you think of him? What are your impressions of him? What do you know about him?
I saw him up in the Cape, and he was a starter for Chatham, and he had a really good summer. So, I mean, obviously he's a really good pitcher, and he's done great for them this year. And we're excited for the type of competition that we're up against. So it'll be fun playing against guys like that.
The momentum and the adrenaline and everything you guys got from the cliff, going there, they're going to be lathered up pretty early in the game.
Yeah.
And in the day, how do you stop momentum? When you had here, how do you stop it from them getting it? Because at some point, everybody has that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's a huge rivalry game, and everybody knows that. But going into it, I think if we play it as a rivalry game, we're not going to be very happy with ourselves coming out of the weekend. I think we have to go in and treat it like it's just another game, and our team knows what's at stake here. And, everybody wants this really bad, and what it comes down to is who wants it more at the end of the week. So I think we're prepared, and despite how many fans they're going to have there, we're going to be ready to go.
Riley, you talked to us all year about your approach and trying to get better at bats, and you've had some great moments, obviously. Do you still have to guard against trying to do too much and maybe try to chase those moments instead of letting them come to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, baseball can humble you really quick. You can think you have it all figured out, and then all of a sudden, you're back at the bottom. And, a lot of times you start feeling good, and all of a sudden you start chasing pitches because everything looks good to you. You think you can hit everything. And, I've fallen in that trap quite a few times this year. And, I think one thing our coaching staff does really well is they keep you humble, and they make sure that, you're not getting too high, and they get you right back to the ground and, back to work. So
How do they do that?
Just talking approach, and if you go up there and you're chasing everything, they want to talk to you, they want to figure it out. And then our team as well, our team comes back and they're talking at bats, they're talking situations, they're talking pitches, stuff like that. I think that helps a lot of hitters out when you might have seen something different and then you just talk it out. I think that's the biggest thing.
Is Austin's cup cap well rested and ready to go this weekend?
Yeah, it's ready to go. I think he might have some new tape on there, got it more stable. It'll be good to go.
Is that one of the things that keeps you guys loose?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I talked about it, during the press conference after one of the games. When you have stuff like that going on in the dugout, it keeps everybody loose, and then you have the fans up there, supporting us and just being awesome. I mean, that really helps from both ends, and it keeps everybody loose, and it reminds you that, it's just a game, and you got to go out there and control what you can control, and just have fun playing the game.
If you didn't know who the cap came from, would you have guessed it came from Keene?
He would not be my first guess, but he'd be on that list.
Who would be your first guess?
My first guess, probably either J-Lou or I was gonna go with Mally, maybe somebody like that.
All right, guys, get extra big sense to do the Viking horn. That hat kind of resembles the symbol you guys give it second. Was that the reason why he did it, or did it just morph into whatever he came up with?
No, it's supposed to be a Viking helmet, like his version of a Viking helmet, whatever that turned out to be. But no, we had a good time with it. It actually turned out better than I would expect with him making it out of cups. So.
One cup at a time. What do you think was the difference between the way you guys played against Louisville here and there early in the year?
Going there, I thought we put a little bit too much pressure. We got ranked top 10 in the nation for going into that week, and I thought that it was really hyped up, and we tried to do too much. We thought we'd go in there and just slug our way out of that game, and it didn't end up the way that we wanted it to. And then coming back here, there was a lot of people, and it was a big game, but we stayed under control, and we went after our game goals rather than just trying to beat Louisville for the sake of a rivalry. And we just played our brand of baseball, and it ended up the way we wanted it to.
All right, one more for Riley. Everybody's got one.
I was thinking, going into places like A&M and South Carolina, they traditionally draw big crowds and they're local and they know baseball. How is that going to help you this weekend? Because you always have a big crowd at Louisville, but it's going to be different.
Yeah, I mean, Louisville fans are going to be crazy, but anytime you can play in front of fans that know baseball and they get excited for the right reasons, I mean, that's fun, being an opposing player. If you go somewhere where people are just yelling, just ridiculous stuff just to yell, that's a little out there. But, Louisville fans know their baseball, and, they're excited. I think I saw somewhere that tickets were being sold for like $1,200. So, like, going into a weekend like this, it makes it a lot of fun knowing what you're going to be up against, and, a baseball crowd. It'll be fun.
All right, thanks, guys. I think I